My nose. I had to sneeze. Yeah, it's anyway.
And every time before starting to stream, we tell each other, "Are you ready?" And then I have to drink in and sneeze. It's you're never ready for this.
Perfectly balanced as everything should be. Anyway, our pips, we're gonna continue the breaker of chains because we don't like chains. We have chains, we break them. Why? Stay and find out. What can I tell you? Anyway, yes, we're getting ready to continue. Last time, well, if you don't know what happened last time, watch the previous stream. What do you think we're doing this for, huh? I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for y'all people. Anyway.
I do it because I actually have fun playing over and over again
the
story.
Yeah, sure. You know the definition of insanity?
Yes, I know.
Okay, perfect.
But the point is that I don't expect a different outcome.
But then why do you pick different options?
I don't. I already played them all.
Okay. Anyway, so we're going.
Actually, what happened last time? We had a dream involving Lesra, probably about our past, almost surely about our past. We woke up in the ancient chamber. Apparently, everyone thought we were dead, but we thought we were not. Then we faked being a worker in the ancient stone chamber. Actually, comes out that we are pretty good at fighting. We went through the Western Gun Camp. We decided or not decided to be enrolled in the Princess Jarrett Force. With this character, we decided yes. With the other one, we decided no. Then we went fight some imps. We found out that actually around the place around the Western Gun Camp used to be owned by goblins, but then imps went free with Red Nose and they pushed them away. So goblins not very happy. We found out that Red Nose became so powerful because it was bullied, and while being bullied, quote unquote, the black-robed man offered him a wishing blackstone, and the Red Nose accepted. And the deal was, okay, I give you power, but when I call you for help, you are going to have to answer the call.
And the wish which the mighty Red Nose had giveth was to be able to wield the power to break, to squish everyone else's, to flatten everyone else's noses. That's right, this guy was dangerous on the nose side. Thankfully, us the adventurer managed to squish his nose instead, and we can live to nose another day.
We found out all these magnificent things and much more. Watch the previous live by talking with Tiny Nose, Red Nose brother, and we could do it by offering him food or destroying everything he had. So, times later, we find ourselves with Tiny Nose in chain because, of course, he was trading precious mineral with humans. Humans were giving in exchange weapons, money. I'm not sure about how many things. So the imps managed to become the steel imps and get armed pretty fast and fight against human.
You know, quite fast, one would say,
and also goblin, but apparently the only person held accountable for his action was Tiny Nose. No one mentioned the actual fact that, you know, humans gave imps weapons and arms and resources in general. It was blamed all on Tiny Nose. So we are here. Cliff and Jarrett recommended us to go to Velia, and there will be different outcomes according to the different choices we picked throughout until now. In particular, no one cares about Tiny Nose. It's all about did we decide to work with Jarrett or not to work with Jarrett. With this character, we decided to work with Jarrett, actually for Jarrett. And so let's see what's up.
I've got loads of connections. I'm also a great worker. I'll work hard. I'll turn over a new leaf.
Because in this case, we decided to collaborate with Tiny Nose while asking for information. So he's like, "Oh yes, I'm in chain, but actually, I want to work for you."
We've lost track of Red Nose, but we must keep seeking the stone that consumed him. There's a coastal village nearby, Velia. Go to Alustin, a wise man there, and report to him on the situation regarding the stone.
I've sent word to the Velia vigilantes. Tiny Nose will be entrusted to one of their work supervisors. Well done.
This is basically the good ending, because this way Tiny Nose will be again entrusted to one of the work supervisor, because we decided to collaborate both with Jarrett and Tiny Nose. So Tiny Nose want to work, and Jarrett and company want to provide work for Tiny Nose. We'll see the other outcome later.
On the YouTube video we have all the endings. But remember, this is a game made by a Korean company, so for them being saved means working for the rest of your life.
Also, this was probably a reference to what actually happens, used to happen in the old, in the old story, because we had to entrust Tiny Nose as a worker after collaborating with him.
Jesus, okay, just go.
First time seeing a griffon. If this is enough to startle you, then you are in for a ride. Look at all people gathered down there at fishing spot. Look below to the Velia coast.
And in fact, you might be wondering, what?
We have.
Bro,
Yeah,
look down.
yeah, they gave us actually a little cinematic about the main fishy spot of the whole Black Desert Online.
And in fact, that's why we had a little bit of lag. It's because it had to render in all of the adventurers AFK fishing.
Exactly. Probably they modified the game with this little cinematic after doing the event concerning the seven marvels di Sette Meraviglie.
7 marvels of
Black Desert Online. I don't know.
Wonders.
Wonders.
Oh.
Yeah. The 7 wonders of Black Desert Online. One of the submission concerned, in fact, the Velia coast with all the adventures, because it's a very popular hotspot for fishing since the release in 2016. But of course, like, it's not an actual wonder. However, probably the developers decided to take into consideration since its popularity, and decided to dedicate this little cutscene.
I'm Hans, a Velia vigilante. Aren't you the one being credited with defeating Red Nose? Your praises are being sung by the great Captain Cliff.
Oh.
If you'd chosen to enlist, I'm certain you'd have been set for life.
And this happens because we decided to cooperate with Jarrett. Otherwise, it will be different, and we'll see it later.
Anyway, the sage Alustin is waiting for you. We sincerely welcome you to Velia.
This says that Red Nose has been defeated.
If that's the case, why the hell's this village still in this state?
Oof.
I heard they're still drafting soldiers. How about you? It's all because of those damn goblins.
Yes, goblins. Call the Goblin Slayer.
My love, what will I tell Helen? To think I'd be widowed at my age.
She doesn't give a shit.
Yeah. Oh.
I prayed this year would be free from that curse, and yet here we are in another drought.
Yeah, keep praying, bro.
Drought? Yeah, I see.
And the chief's granddaughter's coming of age this year.
Information, like...
Oh, whatever shall we do?
Gah, what's the meaning of all this?
The trade wagon that left yesterday has been raided again.
Again?
Considering severing ties with us.
Goblins?
No, they're not.
How many guards do we need to stop them? The entire guild will starve at this rate.
Wow!
Wise one, this village is filled with bad spirits.
Bad spirits, yeah.
Shouldn't we do
The bad
something with the
jujus.
chief's granddaughter first?
In times like these, we need to stay vigilant from within as well. And to do so...
Why do we have to decide what to do with chief daughters?
It was random information to give you a... So like, from this cinematic we know that the Red Nose was defeated, thanks to us, but of course they are not going to say it because according to the first Crossroad you are credited or not credited for defeating it. We learned that there is an issue with the chief's granddaughter, who's like an adult basically, but we don't know exactly what's up. And we also know that many issues are related to the goblins, because Velia is kinda fighting a war against the goblins. So this is the...
Yep. Let's go.
Welcome, adventurer. You seem to bear a dark energy, eons old. I am Alustin, an alchemist who feels eons old himself at times.
Alustin has
Some
been
see
found.
these wrinkles as a sign of wisdom, but a wise man would avoid such an unhealthy obsession with black stones.
And this is a reference, probably a reference to the fact that if you do a pact with a black spirit or have interaction with black stones, you can alter your longevity.
Yes, but also you lose yourself.
Yeah.
Like the Eminem songs. And here we can also see...
Cliff have told me all I need to know of Red Nose tearing through the Dark Rift and his defeat at your hands.
And here we can see that the Black Desert developers don't really understand the Black Desert community, because for years people have been just grinding and ignoring the lore. Now it's nice we have a lore, but this guy speaks like a tortoise. Like, who speaks just like that? Come on, this is a game meant to like get you in the area. Speed up, Grandpa. Come on.
Actually, I'm not this star, but I understand that many people might find it slow.
Because this is meant, when you do voiceovers, it's meant to be like as an adventurer would read it. And you know, make it even choose if they want fast or slow. But this guy, like, for that phrase, took half a minute. It's incredible.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
To cause such noticeable mutations in his physical appearance means that the black stone was of extremely high purity. To have such an item in his possession, this man clad in black, we should not take him lightly. We should undertake our investigation discreetly. Clarence is away on some other task. I suppose I have no other choice.
Here, like, it's normal that he doesn't explain yet who Clarence is, because he's kinda talk between himself.
Yeah.
I would like you to assist my other daughter
So we know
in
that
investigating this matter. However, let us speak on this elsewhere. There are far too many prying eyes here.
See, he speak normal there.
Because he was more, in my opinion, my interpretation is that before he was more, he was thinking.
Of
That's
course,
why
he sees a female character, an adventurer, right? And he's like suddenly all suave and talks with a raspy deep voice, and suddenly he's cool. He's the thoughtful alchemist. Yeah. Tell me more about that. Yeah.
Hiya, Papa. You've
Oh,
brought some
hello, Papa
Friends of my
Chulo.
father get better deals.
Eileen, daughter of Alustin, the general goods vendor, and general goods vendor.
They're basically just
watered-down versions of Florence's potions anyway. No, I'm kidding. Please, buy my wares.
And here we can start to notice that Eileen might have some self-confidence issues.
Remember, folks, there's two important points when dealing with this type of adventurers or people in general. There is the hot to crazy scale, and the more unstable you are, the harder it is, and it grows exponentially. So be careful, you know, there's that perfect balance, and unfortunately Eileen is quite high off the charts. So
I actually like Eileen as a character, you'll see.
Eileen, save your sales pitch. I've a task for you. Think you can handle it?
A bit patronizing, by the way, no shit, she have self-esteem issues.
What? Another one? But I just finished the last one. Can't Florence just swoop in and save the day?
Well, if you don't want this opportunity to meet a black spirit host in the flesh...
What? No way. Look at those dreamy eyes. Nothing like the vacant corpse-like expressions I read about.
Eileen, manners.
Fun fact, one of my sorcerers that I had created specifically to discover, you know, what it is like to play a sorceress and her awakening and secession, I made her look like a demon, so purely black skin and two dark red eyes, inspired by, well, the black spirit. And here I always found it funny how I was like, look at those dreamy eyes of yours, and I'd have like the two of the most dead red eyes that you could find that basically scream, get away, I'm danger. And she's like, wow.
Anyway.
Oops. Did I say that out loud? I'll just go stick my head in a cauldron and die now.
Come now, child. No need for dramatics. They are in need of your aid.
Me? Specifically? Sure you didn't just confuse me for Florence? Gosh, okay. Let's see. How long have you been exposed? Oh, wow. That's a bit excessive.
We actually don't know.
And likely to have accelerated the spirit's encroachment. Tell me, does ceaseless whispering fill your head? Do you have an unquenchable thirst? Is that thirst for apocalyptic chaos?
Apocalyptic chaos.
And here, fun fact, we keep hearing this name, Florence, but she's not even a main NPC in the Black Desert lore, even though she's supposedly the better sister supposed to save the day, which I find that kind of, well, ironic.
I hope they will introduce more Chlorins in Serendian Calphion. The day, probably in 50 years, when we'll have the rework of Serendian Calphion.
Yeah, keep dreaming, boys.
Got it, Papa. I'll... can do it. Definitely. Probably.
I've received a summons from the Grand Chamberlain Jordine. There are urgent matters at Alejandro Farm to which I must attend. I'll be expecting fair tidings upon my return. Adventurer, please give Eileen your full cooperation.
And the Alejandro part of the dialogue is because we even in the non-updated story, we are going to find Alustin in the Alejandro farm. I don't know if they are going to change that part, and therefore they are going to change also the this part of the dialogue, or if it's an hint about the fact that they want to keep that part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Florence will be off to college soon, setting the academic world on fire, while I do my best to find a man who trusts me not to set his meals on fire.
Get help, Eileen. Yeah, just get help. No one will judge you for getting help, Eileen.
And this is a reference to the fact that Chlorins is going to the Calphion College, the peak of the academic world in Black Desert Online.
Yeah.
Why was I talking about fire? Oh, right. My training. Time to test some chemical reactions, but I'm all out of material. Come on, Eileen. Oh, I hate to ask for a favor already, but...
And now we go take ingredients for Eileen because because yeah. Yeah! Ingredients!
You gathered so many so quickly? Guess I've got nothing to fear with you around.
Yeah, just shield slam you into a wall and shove my mace up you. What? We're playing Nova.
Smite one wicked task, another always rears its head. So, I don't see the harm in us taking our time with them.
Yeah, take your
Papa
time.
said you needed help, but... what's a couple of hours? Why don't we take a short walk over to the church? I see that bell tower over there. Why don't you, go on ahead? I need to touch up my faith. For church.
For church, yeah. Go touch up your faith.
Okay.
So here we have a hint that faith in Black Desert, it's a bit weird. Like, you apparently need to prepare before going to church, which, you know, I thought it was more of a, you just go and, yeah.
My faithful congregation who've gathered here today. You've likely not ever set foot in the desert, nor heard tale of the Black Desert and the salvation.
So here we actually know that we have indeed set foot into the desert, considering the whole prologue is us walking through the desert.
There was a time when black stones were thought to be blessed with Elion's might. Sown like so many seeds beneath the sands that span from Calphion to Valencia.
Ah, yes. The black stone.
These two nations then declared war over these black stones, who watered the great desert with blood until the sand itself could hold no more.
Fake. The sound is
From
yellow.
that day it was known by two names. For the countless black stones, Calphionians know the Great Desert as the Black Desert. But for the countless lives lost, Valencians call it Red.
And it's
Not
yellow.
so long after, Elion felt pity for us fallen humans, and granted us the sight to see the black stones for what they truly were. Now that Elion has lifted the veil from our eyes, let us cast off the avarice and offer up our worldly possessions to him.
Of course. And here, there you could see the same symbol that we saw in the Goblin Imp Cave, and it's a very peculiar symbol. Hmm?
Yeah. And also, this is a reference to the fact that in the Red Battlefield you have the two teams called the Black Desert and Red Desert.
There you are. Shall we sit together?
It appears Eileen just wanted to go on a date.
Ah, yes, the date,
Which is
in a church.
Yeah, which is actually something that kind of happened in medieval times, because churches in places like, for example, Italy, were and in still places still are the center of the community. So yes, it was actually a thing like going to the church to hang out after the mass.
Yep.
Okay. After the mass, with people you were interested to, because it was the main social hub.
Now that Elion has lifted the veil from our eyes, let us cast off the avarice and offer up our worldly possessions to Elion.
Shirking your alchemical studies again. I see. No surprises there. What does surprise me is how it's a new man every time. What do they see in you? Hello, I'm Florence, Eileen's twin sister. Father filled me in. I only came here to confirm my suspicions.
And here we can see that just like a wet tissue, we've been used by Eileen and only for her to fulfill her earthly desires in the place of the holy god Ilion, which is apparently she seems to change partners just like a person would normally change their underwear. So it doesn't feel good to be seen as a dirty pair of underwear, but you know what, guys, like it's just part of being an adventurer. Women come and women go, but they mostly go. Yeah, let's keep going on.
And of course, you might notice that actually the model of Chlorians is a bit different from Eileen's one, but that's because the original model of Eileen was the Chlorians one because they are twins. The fact is that since Chlorins is not one of the main recurring characters in the updated story, they didn't work Chlorins.
And here we can see that whilst Alustin and everyone in Velia prefers Chlorins, the developers prefer Eileen.
Yeah, exactly. And the other characters who receive a visual update were Eden, Jarrett, and sincerely for Jarrett I preferred her before, but also Eden.
I made a short about it.
And Eileen and Emma Bartali.
Now listen here. The Black Spirit is biding its time, waiting until you're spent and exhausted. And when you show the slightest sign of weakness, you will be under its control in an instant.
Here is a reference to the fact that the people in Velia have no fucking clue what they're talking about, because what is important to know is that if you do a pact with the Black Spirit, it is different than when you use a Black Stone's power. Because the Black Spirit in general, think about it as doing as a pact with the devil, it usually tends to stick to the pact, and you are able to control a Black Spirit by feeding it Black Stones. Whereas if you go ahead and just accept random Black Stones, you have no control because there is no pact in place. Therefore, if you use a Black Stone without being ready, you lose control, lose your mind, and once you are defeated once, essentially, and get taken into the other portal like Red Nose does, you lose all of your memories, your ego, essentially, and you're just a mindless beast under the control of a Black Spirit residing inside a Black Stone. But this is not our case, seeing as we're not going crazy.
So, how do we stop the Black Spirit possession?
My advice, go get some rest. As for my sister, well, it seems she's already lost interest in you. Don't dawdle here listlessly. Go find Chief Igor Botali. He's known to treat adventurers with the utmost hospitality.
Remember, Eileen was supposed to help us, not date us and then dump us. But
and yet,
life
happens.
Life happens.
Upon a closer look at the pattern, it looks similar to those in the mural at Tiny Nose Cave, referencing the pact between the men clad.
Yeah, you get the point.
Okay, the guy, the robbed guy, and the Red Nose.
Oh, if you go into the inn.
I'm going.
Yeah, through the inn. Right, to the left, behind you. And there is the black robed man that gave him a Kafras. I'm kidding. Or am I?
We don't know.
We don't know. It's a black robed man, and he doesn't offer people stones here, but maybe he's just shy.
So you're the one Alustin spoke of. We finally meet. I am Igor Bartali, chief of this village. Welcome to Velia.
And chief of our hearts since 2016 in Europe.
Yep. Okay.
There was a time when I too dreamt of becoming a great adventurer, and I would love to hear of your heroic encounter with Red Nose. But first, I must attend to a small matter requested of me by the Grand Chamberlain. How about you tell your tale over a meal at the Lunar Halo Inn? It's right over there. My wife, Iselin, will treat you to some refreshments. Go on ahead. I'll be right behind you.
Beautiful.
Welcome to the Lunar Halo Inn, traveler. You can call me Iselin. My husband said you'd be dropping by. Rowdy drunkards think getting pot-shotting is an excuse for breaking a dish or two. but I make sure everyone pays for their mistakes. Here's fair warning to you. This is the chef of our inn, David. Talented, aye, but patrons love him because he pays little heed to the cost of ingredients. Those two over there act like brothers once a little ale's in him. In the cold light of sobriety, they find themselves again sworn enemies. That one over there just keeps to himself, smoking his pipe all day long, never orders a thing, literally running on fumes he is. Oh, look at the old man, the wind blew in. Well, what'll you have? Have a seat and we'll get your order in right away.
And here we have a choice that doesn't matter that much, but it's more about roleplay. So we can choose among roasted chicken salad, Tuscany special herb juice, and mountains or cheese bread. What do we want to order, madam?
Chicken salad. Remember, if you wanna drink plenty, you eat plenty.
Roasted chicken salad. Top choice. It's so good you'll have dreams about it. Good, good. Take a seat over there. My husband's probably dying to see you.
Worth a pint of dark tea.
Oh, Iselin is talkative as ever. Sometimes she keeps customers so long that the food goes cold.
And this might be a reference to the previous version of this part of the quest line in Valenos. In fact, at certain point we had to be welcomed at the tavern and offered food. However, at certain point the sister of Iselin walked in and they started a whole conversation about the political situation between Valenos and Serendia. And it was long. And in the meantime you were there like, I just wanted food.
Yeah.
Finally. I've been looking forward to dining together and hearing the wealth of stories you have to tell. First, tell me of Red Nose. Tell me everything, theatrics and all. Who helped the most in tracking Red Nose down?
Who helped the most, my love? And again, like, doesn't really matter, it's more for the sake of roleplay.
Well, I gotta say that I think it's either ourselves or Dr. Uno.
Okay, well, since we are going to play it 2 times, we can do both. And let's start with my favorite, me.
That's right. Stand tall and proud. We're all the protagonists of our own stories, after all.
And we are quite literally.
But however did Red Nose become leader of the Imps? As I recall, he was ever so tiny and timid.
It was the man clad in black with black stone.
Black stone given unto Red Nose became one filled with rage. I've no idea what that man is up to. If only I was younger, I'd need just to wave my finger to teach him a lesson.
And this is true.
This is very true.
Frustrating though it may be, in times like this, repeat after me. Things are looking up. See? Feels good?
Yeah.
Once more. Things are looking up.
And
Your
here we can
grand
see
journey
we are
is still
drinking
underway,
heavily.
and arduous times are yet to come. Dig deep and shout this out to steel your nerves in those moments.
I remember saying this to a shy.
Things are looking up. Things are looking up.
Yes, sir! Drop some shots in there, come on.
And also Uno start to drink some more.
Some good stuff there, yeah?
Oh, Uno. It has been some time. Where have you been quenching your thirst while your old friend's throat is dry?
Me just had a pint of the Dancing Marlin to celebrate our defeat of Red Nose. Cheers!
And this is a reference to the second tavern of Velia, introduced far later, because they introduced it like only some years ago.
Yeah, when they did the ocean content update. And here it's also a good reference to let us know that Dr. Uno is a party animal and shouldn't be taken easily. You either drink with him hard, or you are basically gonna get kicked out.
And yet to think Blackstone of such high purity brings me back to the days when there were yet hairs on your head.
And here we can see they've been knowing each other for a long time.
I'm telling you, it's all gone in an instant. But I, too, am reminded of the tale of the Great Desert. 10 years past now.
And here we have our second time reference. The first one was about the fact that the whole issue with the Cron castle and King Bartali III happened 150 years ago. And now we are going to learn about what happened in the Great Desert 10 years ago.
And we also know that Igor Bartali used to have luscious hair, and suddenly he had balding issues, but decided to keep his hair anyway, because he's fabulous just like that.
This is your first time hearing it, right? Listen well, it's quite the tale. 10 years passed. In the distant desert, a sudden and strange phenomenon occurred. The ground beneath the sands cracked wide, and an ancient ruin burst forth.
Very, very weird. Just like someone did something 10 years ago.
Totally not us.
It was the ruins of Histria, once existing only in ancient texts. Held deep within her, a final chamber composed of the purest black stones.
And guess what? That's exactly where we were headed in the tutorial with Ilesra.
When we opened that, defeated all the monsters and managed to get ourselves backstabbed before being spread wide open for the Black Spirit, who came and said howdy. So now we know that each character starts 10 years in the past.
Yep.
He's been on about this story for a decade now. My ears can't take it any longer. Be present. It's the year 286. 286!
And here we have our third and probably most fundamental time indication. The time of the story.
And remember, 276 is technically where we were adventuring with Ilesra, 286 is the current time, and around 146 is when the Crown Castle issues happened. Quite interesting.
Nostalgia serves as the greatest drive in the twilight years of a senile old fool. And yet, thanks to what occurred back then, business has never stopped booming.
Never thought I'd see the day when Igor the Adventurer was properly domesticated. The things love will do to us, eh?
Hey!
I may not look it now, but I was indeed quite the adventurer in my day. People would travel far and wide to consult with me on matters of Histria.
Okay, Stickman, keep telling yourself that.
And in fact, we will, if we are a new adventurer, or we've been keeping very close to our heart the adventure log written by none other as than Igor Bartali.
Yep.
Look at the stone spider flaunting his carapace to the stone-back crab, like he's forgotten he's speaking with the continent's foremost imp expert. And on my honor, I swear on that day I clearly saw it. The shining star fall into the hills of the forest of seclusion.
And this is a very important reference to what happened in Star's Hand.
So imagine, folks, 10 years ago, essentially we discovered Histria ruins, we go with Ilesra, we touch the purest of blackstones, at the same time across the continent in Calphion we have a little thing that goes
No, actually before, because Star Sign happens 50 years before us. So it's like 40 years before we visit Histria. Yes, it's that old. It's that old.
Oh, then what is he talking about?
Probably they are just hinting to other parts of lore.
Okay.
So you are more curious about keep going with the main quest, which is not updated yet. So they kind of have to push you to.
That nonsense again. Give it a rest, my dear friend. No one found a star, not even a scrap of metal.
And it's not stars then, it's something else.
I see.
I promise you, before my dying breath, I shall uncover its secret. I, Uno, am a man of my word. Believe it.
I'm having fun.
This stuff is great.
Everyone's happy now. Not gonna be in the morning though.
Careful. Do you know how much this beer cost me?
I couldn't believe it. She told me to shave my beard.
You know how many years I spent whacking those scarecrows?
Aha!
Oh, Tronin, you're here as well.
Of course. I have to lay down the hammer sometimes.
Stop! Hammer
Yes,
time!
indeed. It's been some time. Care to hear of my travels to Valencia?
For the 10th time. Very comfy sleeping with the shield.
Ah, the cat.
Oh, good. Adventurer, you're awake.
Who the fuck? Of course, we're awake for the 5th time. Wait, can you open M? And see where the Forest of Seclusion is?
Oh, sorry.
Forest of Seclusion.
Forest of Seclusion. It's here.
Huh. So, wait. Oh!
What?
He saw a fallen star in Forest of Seclusion.
Ah, I see.
But it's actually how we ended up in the Ancient Stone Chamber.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Things make sense now. So
Sorry, I promise I'm not stupid, it's just that I keep messing between Forest of Seclusion and Ash Forest. I have no clue why my brain does that.
Okay, so indeed that's how...
It was us.
Yeah.
This is the home of Tranan Underfoe, the blacksmith. He said you had a pretty rowdy night at the cavern, so he brought you back here.
And we missed our memory.
Yeah.
You should go thank him for taking care of you. And maybe apologize for dueling his anvil.
Why does she know about that?
Everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Let's be off. We're going to overcome the Black Spirit together. I have a close friend who is going through a similar situation. Her name is Emma. Emma Bartali. Yes, the chief's granddaughter. You could say she's the princess of the town. Ever since she was little, Emma would often have nightmares, but it's grown worse. Now, a dark figure has begun to invade her mind. We're going to pay her a visit. Though, please understand, for anyone so shy, and who suffers as she suffers, a smile would be hard to muster.
So now we know that...
Poor Emma. She's the only person who's opened their heart to me. I must find a way to rid her of her vile infestation.
So now we know that Eileen has a friend called Emma Bartali, which is the granddaughter of the chief, since they share the same last name, but who also seems to have quite some issues, in fact.
And fun fact about this, there is actually a quest line concerning this curse, because we are going to find out that it's actually a curse. And it's something being effective on all the, like, in the Bartali's bloodline. So for example, in theory not easily, but it's not clear, but for sure Igor, for example, and Emma. However, in this quest line, it is said that the only person who's not affected by nightmares, and therefore the curse, is the father of Emma and son of Igor Bartali, Justin Bartali, that who we never see because he's supposed to be in Olvia with Emma's mother, but we don't really know because
he went to buy a pack of cigarettes, and you know the road to Calfian is quite perilous. Anyway, give me a sec, I'll be right back.
Okay.
You can keep going.
Okay, let's ask about Emma's nightmares.
Nightmares of the kingdom of Cron often haunt Emma. People do not talk about it, saying it's a curse that befell the family. See, she's a descendant of that house, and they sacrificed the lives of their citizens to an immortal alchemist in return for eternal life. That family, they treat the curse like it's nothing, like it's a normal part of any child's formative years. Nonsense, I say. No wonder she shuns people. I'm counting on you to get close to her heart. Here, have a look at this.
Newsletter: Velia Oshuri robbed. Punishment well deserved.
150 years have passed since the fall of the Kingdom of Cron. Yet, House Bartali still remains in the public eye. Grave robbers have once again stolen Noir Bartali III's treasure, a piece of heaven. However, the town has shown no pity, saying that it's a well-deserved punishment. The chief may seem like he just enjoys drinking with adventurers all the time, but he really cares about the town, more than anyone else.
Best chief ever.
He gave me a place to set up my own shop. And he's serious about restoring the Bartali name. The Bartali family store their ashes in an ossuary north of this town. A place like that, teeming with Cron's secrets, must have some clues. Go ahead and take the path near the church. I'll check in on our dear, hungover Dr. Uno, then join you.
Infestation? What do I look like? A rat? Innocent child. Listen to her all you like, but remember, you are nothing without me. Why are we wasting our time with a child anyway? Let's go see the blacksmith. He's definitely more useful.
I'm Cron and wonderful. A blacksmith with patience.
Thank you, and sorry about the anvil.
No need to thank me. Looks like I have myself a valuable new patron. I can see how callous the palms of your hands are. You will certainly be a regular at the forge.
And this is of course a reference to the fact that he noticed that we are adventurers.
From now on, trust your gear to me, a master craftsman. And, by the way, where are you off to with Eileen?
I'm headed to Velia Oshuri.
Ossuary? Got peculiar taste, that's for sure. Most tourists would prefer visiting more scenic spots. On your way there, give my regards to my dear friend Ricky, if you would. He's not been in his town.
Ooh, goodness.
I'm the only friend he has.
Broken? Yeah. Put it under the... Yeah, there you go. So, we know that there is an ossuary, and it is quite dangerous because it's dead people. Oh no!
Oh, Eileen. You've come with a new friend today. You didn't let a grave robber trick you into bringing them here, did you?
I know that I may not be the brightest compared to my sister, but I'm not that foolish, you old man.
I'm not stupid.
And here we can notice that this old man is actually doesn't know what he talks about, because right now we have main poster saying that Red Nose has been defeated, Captain Cliff, who works under the Princess Jared, which is the betrothed of the Grand Chamberlain, saying, hey, it's the adventurer who killed Red Nose. And this guy has no clue what we are.
It's merely that everyone trusts Clorin's shrewd nature will keep her safe. You, on the other hand, well, what brings you here? Richie? I wasn't aware he had any friends to receive regards from. Tronin? So Richie's been shirking his duties to...
Yeah, because clearly you can't have friends, otherwise you can't do your job, like everyone knows, right?
Yeah, if you work, you have no friends. That's how it's supposed to be. Interesting. So we can also
society. Do you want to talk about?
So here we can also see that this character is very peculiar, not really integrated with the society. This is the first time we see him. And also here it starts flaming not only Emma, but us and those around him. And this is one of those cases where we say that if you act like a bitch, you're gonna die like a bitch. So no one will miss him if you were to be gone.
And probably we can also tell that he's a sorceress due to the typical talisman from Tarif he has around him. Or those are bought from Tarif for protection. We are not quite sure.
Or those are fake.
Richie is probably down below, sweeping and cleaning. Friendly warning for the newcomer. Never lay a hand on anything, or else.
What else what, boy? Look at you.
Yeah, he's not really in the position to do anything, by the way.
Yeah, I love this, that, or else. It's like, what, boy? You can't even stand straight. A threat like that coming from a berserker or a giant, I don't understand.
Well, this isn't as scary as I thought it would be. Anything good here? Huh? Oh, over there! A ghost!
A human!
Talking ghost! Adventurer, exercise it!
With my powerful mace.
Who I am? The notorious grave robber, Afuaru's cousin.
Whack the right Afuaru.
Cousin.
There. Whack him.
Oh, that was scary. I've never been ghosted before. Ghosts haunting an ossuary, falling into ruin. I thought that Houtman had the easiest job in town, but that is clearly not the case. Adventurer, what's this? Do you think the ghost dropped it?
Yeah, the ghost, totally.
The Bartali crest is engraved on it. So maybe it unlocks something in the ossuary. I'll ask Richie. Where is he? You don't think he's been hurt, do you?
I don't know.
Come on, let's go find Richie. Oh, Elion, All, Sylvia, Thornwood Goddess, please keep Richie safe.
And this is a reference to the main deities of Black Desert Pantheon.
Hmm?
Huh?
Nothing.
Someone is inside sobbing.
It's a ghost.
The Grey Robber skin fits perfectly. Someone's there, holding a broom, sweeping the floor with swollen eyes. It appears to be Richie, the one Aileen was looking for.
Oh, thank goodness. Were you trapped in here? And are you sweeping?
No. This is just me salvaging the last bits of my pride off the floor.
What's all this commotion about? What? Did you cause trouble again?
Okay.
Old man, did you know that Richie was trapped in here all along? We really keep vigilant watch over the assorted, huh?
Oh, she's throwing shade.
What? Another grave robber showed their ugly mug? That cowardly Richie was probably hiding again. I can't be everywhere all at once. An ossuary needs constant care. I'm bound to forget a thing or two. Age takes its toll. You'll see. If it were your sister here, she would have done something clever, like brewed up a potion to make the cowardly goblin a bit braver.
Or making you a little bit less of an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, you're not wrong, but it still hurts. Let's go, adventurer. That's Eileen for you. Makes you wonder if she truly is the great Alustin's daughter.
Don't worry, we got you, boo.
Yeah, we don't even know what
Sorry
Alustin
we
is.
didn't get much out of this adventurer. I wanted to lift Emma's spirits for a change.
Oh my. The grave robber could have hurt you, Eileen. Don't you ever do that again, even if it's for me.
But I still haven't found clues to the night.
I have the dark well in the background.
This adventurer here is going through something similar. I'm sure of it.
No. I'm so thankful that you tried. I don't want anyone to be in danger again because of me.
Okay, main hero.
Here we can see that Emma Bartali looks a lot like Dante's Beatrice.
Hold on, Miss Emma. I'm sorry that I couldn't repay your kindness. But look at this. My howls of terror must have shocked that grave robber into dropping it.
Remembering Hannah from the journal.
My poor, lonely Hannah. My dear niece. Lovely and beautiful to the very end. The spring's courtship blossomed into summer romance, which bore fruit like autumn, only for the suitor to coldly part like winter.
Okay, she basically found a partner in summer. She had a child in autumn, and then the death of the child died in winter.
Wow.
Sort of. This is the metaphor.
You persevered alone to rear your child, only for the king to steal him away. Falling victim to an aged fool's selfish ambitions, seeking eternal life. The world came crashing down, but I shall remember Hannah forever, even as I cleaned the nursing bottle she couldn't heat up for a final time. It is another trace of sin left behind by my ancestor. How long shall I repent his sins to wash away the karma?
And here we can see that people in Black Desert believe in karma, which is kind of hilarious considering the things that happen later on in the story.
And probably, most likely, this is written by a member of the House Bartali.
How much longer will this nightmare last?
Hear about Emma's nightmare.
It was a dark night. Really fucking dark.
Those are in Odilita.
Yeah. She sleeps with the dress like a true psychopath. No wonder she can sleep well.
Justice for Emma, give her a pajama.
Yeah.
In Cron Castle, ruined by sins of past, lay tiny souls hidden, tears amassed.
Why does it have to rhyme?
I reach out to comfort those unnamed, but some strange force keeps me restrained.
Kinky. Oh.
Then blackest smoke soon overtakes me. I flee and flee. Can no one save me? The crimson gaze. I can't escape thee.
When you get scared in rhymes, you know she's up to something.
My piercing
She
screams.
sleeps with her
Black energy haunts me in my dreams every night. I always wake up out of fear.
Let's ask even in greater details.
Yeah, I guess she's not
Dreams
traumatized
who
enough.
pushes me into Cron Castle. A man wearing a sheep's skull, surrounded by goblins.
If texts I've read are to be trusted, the Black Spirit has begun to take hold of her. Oh, we can't just sit and do nothing. Let's see what we can find at Cron Castle.
Eileen, if we take action, it'll put my grandfather in a difficult position. I read the rescript that the Grand Chamberlain, Jordine, had sent not so long ago. Goblins that were driven away from the plains of Agris by the imps are now becoming more and more aggressive toward traders. And those goblins, they aren't on good terms with the rebel forces of Medea, who are occupying the Cron Castle ruins. All this havoc may account for the Grand Chamberlain's foul mood as of late. Best not for us to add to it. Thanks, Eileen, you're right. We've got to do something. In that case, meeting Grusha would be the best place to start. Grusha is a loyal protector of House Artali. He's been keeping watch over the Goblins' forest.
And here we know that they have a scout called Grusha, who works for House Bartali.
Indeed, it does.
So, quite interesting she's having these nightmares, and how Eileen thinks it's Black Spirit possession, although she has no black...
She said something similar.
She said the Black Spirit is beginning to take hold.
On us, and Emma has something similar.
Okay.
Meaning like something lingering around her.
You're being hit.
Let's go. And Grusha, right? Indeed.
Whatever you say, bro.
Human. I'm Grusha, the head of the Velia Vigilantes Special Task Force.
Yeah.
Cron Castle, you say? Let's steer clear of there for now. We're poised to invade the castle soon. It's much too dangerous to even think of going to such places with Lady Emma in your care. Shows your utter recklessness.
Then Grusha, let me at least meet the Goblin Chief. I've heard you boasting about how you became drinking buddies.
Eileen, the chief you knew doesn't exist anymore. Our race has been reborn entirely.
Our.
And here we can see that despite being a human, Grusha is having an existential crisis and starting to become a goblin. Also, we know that the imps drove away the goblins from the Agris plains. But after this, something happened to the chief of the goblins.
The old chief who used to dance the in front of the bonfire is now buried beneath the fields of Agris. A young, giant and mighty chief has taken his place and now leads us goblins to the great battlefield.
I think we found some of that goblin, goosey.
What are you ladies doing here in the perilous Goblin's forest? I myself have come here to inform the scout Grusha about something. Head of the Goblin Infiltration Task Force, Grusha Nor. According to foreign agreement, your job as a scout has been terminated. I'm sure you're well aware that the Goblins turning vicious and aggressive is causing quite a setback in trade relations with Serendia. The Chief and Grand Chamberlain have already come to an agreement. You have no other choice than to follow their orders.
Watch me.
You? That's because the imps attacked our goblin base.
You're still acting as the Goblins' mouthpiece, eh? Understand that Velia has no further plans to coexist with the Goblins.
Yes, I mean, goblins didn't do anything wrong. Please, I beg you, give me another chance. If you only let me speak with them.
See how the attitude
Another
changed?
chance? Does Velia come first or do Goblins? You're relieved of your post, and you'll serve probation from your own home.
And here, remember folks, that here both Grusha and the other guy, Takros, they are military. So it makes sense that when you receive an order from your leader and you start begging and doing things that are not ordered of you, it's seen quite as a bad thing. In fact, we notice that Grusha is a little bit weird. He talks Goblin as referring to himself as, you know, a goblin. He speaks in their language. He spews Goblin propaganda. So there's only one right way to do this: kill him. Here we can choose, obviously, a crossroad to decide what will we do.
Okay. We can learn about gears by taking the most peaceful route of siding with the goblins alongside Grusha. Or we can learn about gear by thinning the goblin numbers with Takros and forcing them to confess. Now, before choosing, because we are going to play both crossroads, we are going to see how changes and how influenced is the first part if we choose to side against Jarrett by choosing of not working for her at the Westergard camp. Of course, I'm going to speedrun the parts that we are not interested in, but it's just to see the two faces of the interactions.
Dun, 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 dun. And then we have a third loading screen. Oh, perfect.
You expect everything I've worked for destroyed, all because of them? I'd rather go to prison than be forced to even stand beside them.
Because of course, in this case, we decided to obtain information by threatening Tiny Nose. And of course, as a consequence, he's not willing to cooperate with us and to work for the humans.
We've lost track of Red Nose, but we must keep seeking the stone that consumed him. There's a coastal village nearby, Velia. Go to Alustin.
That takes care of things. Tiny Nose shall be transferred to our camp's prison. Go onward to Velia, and best of luck to you.
And in this case, since we decided to not work for Jarrett, they are not going to hire Tiny Nose, because the point was like, hire him because he demonstrated to have certain skills, or put it in prison to not piss the soldiers, because of course due to the doing of Tiny Nose, some people, certain part of the Balnos forces died in battle. So in this case, if you decide to side with Jarrett, they are going to try to Tiny Nose, even if he's not willing to, by the way, because he will be sent to work nonetheless, compliant or not. And if you decide to go against Jarrett, they are just going to send him to prison no matter what he thinks.
So, in reality, choosing to work against Jarrett and choosing to collaborate with Tiny Nose is kinda seen as the worst outcome, because you have Tiny Nose begging to be spared, and Jarrett just putting him in prison where the other goblins and humans would see him, who know what they do.
Again, here the thing is the same. This is skippable. Yeah, they should add the option to skip this part.
Look at all those chickens!
Because usually, let's remember that cinematics are, again, usually skippable. This is not. Happens.
Happens to the best of us. Sometimes cinematics are, well, just that, cinematics.
I'm Hans, a Velia vigilante. Rumors have it that you've tried to take credit for the defeat of Red Nose. To get your name dragged through the mud like that? Who did you piss off?
Princess Jarrett and Captain Cliff.
Anyway, the sage Alustin is waiting for you. We sincerely...
And here we can skip it. News of Red Nose's capture brought much relief to those in Velia. The drafting of Firstborn along with the raids on trade wagons threatened trade with the neighboring city. Rumbling of famine and curses connected with the chief's granddaughter about what's going on. Shouldn't we do something with the chief's granddaughter first?
Welcome, adventurer. Some see these
everything else is the same.
Uno and Cliff have told me all I need to know.
And
of
in
Red
this
Nose
case,
tearing through the dark rift, and his defeat at your hands.
It's exactly the same. Yeah,
exactly, because what I wanted to say is that Alustin knows. Despite Jarrett and Cliff trying to make us seem the bad guy, trying to credit ourselves for something we didn't do, he actually knows. Also because Uno is actually prizing us and saying the truth about us.
To have such a... I would like you to...
And again, like here, there is the whole part where we have to talk to Eileen. Because again, this whole middle part is exactly the same, so we can skip it. Also in this case we have to do our nice killing in the grass.
Yep, remember, killing is appropriate in Black Desert. Alright, bell tower, getting ready for church. Run out of juice.
Indeed.
My faith.
Skip. Skip. Skibbity bop 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 skibbity. Remember folks, most of these parts repeat because there are a few choices in the main questline, but they all converge towards the same point and do the same thing.
Look at the old man, the wind blew
whatever.
And what shall we take now? Herb juice or mountains or cheese bread?
Give him herb juice.
Toscani special herb juice. You know your stuff. Good.
And everything else is the same, so. Juicy stuff, let's go.
Who helped the most in
And here we have all the options: Captain Cliff, Officer Finia, Dr. Uno, Tiny Nose, and us. We already checked the us, so let's check another one. And
Dr. Uno.
Suggests Dr. Uno.
That can't be. That Uno has spent his entire life devoted to the studies of imps. If that's true, we'd have caught Red Nose ages ago.
Oof, this thing.
Yeah, but here it's actually quite nice because Dr. Uno is the one that spoke with Alustin to clear our name, and obviously here we clear Dr. Uno's name in exchange.
But however did Red the Black
This is Henry. It was the ruin.
He's been on about this.
Come on, spend that shit.
I promise you.
Chiefs Igor Bartali and Dr. Uno continued their stories deep into the night. The lunar Halloween seemed livelier than ever, full of warmth and merrymaking. You have a splitting headache when the sun finally rises. Lying in the bed, you've made yourself. Oh, good adventurer, you are awake. I can see. Okay.
Too big. You should be off. Wait, next. No, what was great. About to go ahead and take the.
Okay.
I said big. As you can see, like, things are appearing, so just bada boom bada bim. Don't worry. Here the developers decided to be quite nice and give young adventurers what we like to call a movement speed buff, as when you start the game you don't really have any pets or mounts, so it's quite nice to have this movement speed buff. And just
the creepy ossuary wasn't filled with just imaginary ghosts. There you found the distant cousin of the spectre of a grave robber, Afuaro. Don't you know who I am? The notorious grave robber, Afuaro's cousin.
Remember, it's Afuaro with who the thing is, meaning there is a little thing here, supposed to be a little stop. They kind of messed with the voice acting.
What's all the... What?
In fact, you encounter Afuaro many more times when you are grinding. In fact, he can give you a chance to drop good items or just kappa stones. And you encounter him also in Valencia.
Angered by Hotman and poor management skills, Eileen suggests heading to the farm of Emma Bartali, a young woman who suffers from nightmares.
No.
And again, we talk about Emma's nightmares, it's exactly the same. And again, like, okay.
Wait, go back, take the quest.
Go visit Grusha.
And Grusha's a loyal...
Yep, now you can go visit Grusha. If you attack in front several times, it's it's honest work.
Yeah.
If you hit hold right click when you see a monster, you yes,
What are you ladies doing?
Dark with Tacros.
Another chance.
And here we can choose the quests.
So we go back to the first character and we go check the first option. Siding with Grusha.
Any moment. Any moment.
We promise you, we have an SSD, by the way.
7 gigs, Gen 4 SSD.
Okay. Learn about Giath by taking the most peaceful route of siding with the goblins alongside Grusha. The goblins were originally quite nice, this is all because of those darn imps. And yet, there are still those among them that wish for the peaceful old days. They probably help you locate Chief Giath. You can trust these goblins. Grusha.
Doctors?
Spent a day finding out what the goblins are up to.
The hero who defeated Red Nose. Did you say you want to meet Grusha and the Goblin King Giath?
Track down Giath, King of the Goblins.
We're more than glad to have someone as skilled as you do us a favor. But are you sure that you'll be fine with someone like him? Since our chief is so fond of you, I'll trust you with this task. However, bear in mind, the goblins are awaiting our swift subjugation. You'll have to finish the job quick before we start the attack. I'm looking forward to seeing the skills of one who could take down Red Nose.
So, time is ticking, they want to attack the goblins.
Thank you. Thanks for protecting us goblins. Goblins are kind. But I don't know where the chief is either yet. Let's ask friends. They'll surely help. Oh, I almost forgot. We must go through a ritual before we do, or else my friends won't let you step foot near them. If you gain an understanding of our tradition as you destroy those totems, the goblins will accept you as their friend. I mean, not all of them. Everyone's been on edge since the appearance of the new king.
And this is to justify the fact that despite picking this crossroad and succeeding in it, we can still be attacked and fight goblins. Because of course, the goblins we find around are actually with Giath, and so willingly to attack us.
This is a very important ritual in Goblin culture. Remember, you have to kill their friends and destroy their homes, otherwise they will not be friendly to you.
No, it's the cauldrons, the watchtowers, and the totems.
Few friends don't hurt either.
Meet Toto and my other goblin friends. Toto, this person stood against the Velia vigilantes.
Toto happy noises.
He says thanks for protecting our forest, and that the king is within the goblin cave, but he is also not.
He is, but he isn't. He could be, but what would he be?
Toto, what do you mean? You want me to look at the mural behind us? Was it redrawn? Us goblins are a race that have called Balanos home for some time now, just like the people of Velia. Well, that was before that violent, red-nosed imp exiled us. That's why the old chief would offer up prayers to the ancestors every day. He prayed for youth and the power to protect his race. Then, one day, a man wrapped in black robes approached him. The man didn't stay long, but imparted a black-coloured stone unto the chief. Shortly after, the aged, feeble chief passed from this world, after siring the new king.
Does this remind you of something?
That stone might have been poison given to the aged chief to give up his own life. Hey, he wants you to follow him.
Okay, let's follow Toto.
Follow your neighborhood Totoro.
No, one is Toto and the other is Ror.
This is a cave that honorary goblins like I cannot enter. Only pure-blooded Gaia goblins can enter.
And here it's interesting because Gaia is actually deity from Roman culture, so it might be a reference to the fact that goblins are actually generated directly from Earth.
Toto says that he'll support us. However, he also says that you'll have to fight against the Gaia goblins. The goblins are more vicious towards outsiders than ever. Do you think you can do this?
Yeah, I'll put them to sleep, don't worry. Is Giath, king of the goblins, truly inside the cave? We'll find out. You must have noticed by now, I told you, the black stones contain the power to fulfill your desires. Don't believe me? Rednose and the Goblin King might say otherwise. Who do you think gave them that power, anyway?
Well, we know, a man in a black robe. Come on, Black Spirit, wake up. Right? And remember, here it's also a reference to the old lore where you have to just kill the goblins, because obviously they can't write the story without having to kill stuff. So it's you know, just the style of Black Desert. I said kill people, not destroy them, jeez.
I'm putting them to sleep.
Yeah, this is actually a very intricate like acupuncture thing that she's doing to put them to sleep.
It's called treatment.
Yeah. Once she does that, they don't feel anything. Not even their own limbs.
Because they're sleeping.
Yeah, because they're sleeping.
you only see a giant ram skull hanging and not even a glimpse of the king.
A human commander's body has become the vessel that hosts our king. But our king still bears the name of Kiev. Almighty King, please protect us goblins. Please restore our peace. That must mean this stone grave actually contains... It doesn't matter. It's all for the benefit of goblins. Lend us strength.
Did Giet use the power of the Blackstone to possess the mortal share of some long-dead warrior? It appears that Giet's original body has been laid to rest in this grave, and that's why he is in the cave and he is not. Stupid goblins, now I'm starting to sound like them. Where is this so-called goblin king Gieth anyway? Even if he knew, my money's on Grusha just playing dumb. Let's just go find the big oaf ourselves. I can faintly sense the energy of the black stone from the goblins in this cave. It's the same time I felt from Rednose. Those goblins at the entrance were enough of a warm-up for you, weren't they? Let's crack a few more skulls for clues. Time to make like a goblin and leave this cave. Yeah, of course, like... Just gather clues from these skulls, bro.
And again, even though we seem to be choosing the peaceful option with the goblins, we are quite literally massacring them.
There's no peaceful option here. I'm going to kill them outside because I have more.
Remember, a good goblin is a dead goblin.
I'm sorry. I know this place is dangerous, but curiosity killed the cat, right? I mean... Oh. Look! Black energy erupted from the cave you exited from, and formed this illusion on rock. I've seen this in one of my father's books. It's a mark indicating the Goblin King is hiding in a dark rift.
What brings you ladies here to such a dangerous place?
I thought I might find something useful, so we paid a visit to my grandfather's study.
The goblins stole the book we, borrowed while we were looking for you. What do they even need a human book for?
My ladies, all goblins know that boiling letters in a cauldron will make you smarter.
Of course.
I will take the ladies to Finto Farm, where it's safe. Find Lady Emma's book. You must look for a giant cauldron.
Time to smash some cauldrons, I guess. And here the chance to get is totally random. So it might be the second hit, it might be the first one, it might be the 10th. You never know.
I knew I could trust you. Now, let's read the book to find out whose body Gith actually inhabited. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Croxus Antonio. Guard captain for Noir III in Elionian year 135, forfeited his life when he dared to admonish his king for attempting to sacrifice a young maiden and child to attain immortality.
And in fact, as we said, we are in the year 286, and what happened in the Cron castle happened about 150 years ago.
The immortal alchemist said the ritual must go on, and the enraged king had Croxus executed, and his remains scattered over Awa's hill.
It's him. The one who led me to that sin-laden castle. He met such a tragic end. To lose his own flesh as well. He must have appeared in my dreams for a reason. I need to speak with him. Is there any way we can summon Geath from the Dark Rift?
There must be a way, Lady Emma. But first, you must eat. Your grandfather would have me hanged if I'd let you pass out.
Fair point.
We shall ask Martina, the farm owner, for some food.
I'd be more than happy to whip you up a meal. Nothing comes for free now, does it?
Okay. Obtain minced chicken meat from Martina.
The farm wasn't always looking a mess like this. You can thank the goblins for that. I'd be more than happy to whip you up a meal.
And obtain the sweet water.
I'll be more than happy to handle the cooking, though I know most of your harvest has already gone out to Velia.
Eileen, be a dear and scrounge up some potatoes from the field. And your company can get the chicken porridge started. I'm not sure if we've got any hearty potatoes left. It's not the first time goblins have made a mess of our field.
Because of course you can see from the map that beside Ewa's Hill, this is the farm exactly in the middle of the goblin territory.
That earthy aroma. Oh, it reminds me of my grandmother's steamed potatoes.
Obtain the hard potatoes.
That didn't take too long, right? I have good senses.
Okay, now we can go back to the group and start cooking. We get simple cooking, meat, water and potato, and we start cooking. And once we have finished to prepare our delicious thingy, we can eat it. And here, if you're a new adventurer, you can see how certain meals give you special animations.
Good. Now that our stomachs are full, let's try putting our heads together. Geath chose a body that's been dead for quite some time. According to what I know of nature, the body should have decomposed already. So how do you think he got around that?
Oh, that reminds me of something Father taught me last week in class. It was something on alchemy used to track time. I remember it because I really struggled with the reagents. Clorence said something like, Eileen, what good's ahead if you don't even use it? Then she said, what did she say? Eileen, you're so stupid you'd flip over an hourglass to check the time. Oh, right! Sands of Time! Using Papa's special recipe, it's possible to restore the flow of time where it's been halted. But it's difficult to get the materials. Only black stones of a purity of at least 73% will work. Papa brought some such stones to class last week, but I think, I used them all up.
Color me surprised. I should have brought Clorence along.
Yes,
she would have come up with another plan, surely.
I'm sorry. I'm not Clorence.
I think you're crossing the line here, Takros. My grandfather will hear of your behavior. Eileen, don't give up. There is always a way. We will find it together.
Well... I suppose certain ingredients can be substituted. But we'd need an object one would sacrifice their life for.
A goblin's horn should do that, I imagine. Can't understand why the bastards are so obsessed with it.
Here, over here. I have a black stone.
It once belonged to the old chief.
Singular mind, eh? You keep mum until we start on about goblins. That black stone is better put to use elsewhere. Right now, we have a better tool at our disposal. The goblins themselves.
Now quiet, I can't think. I'm becoming potato brained standing in all these potatoes. What's your gut tell you, adventurer? I'll follow your lead.
And here we have our second choice. We can decide to synthesize the black stone entrusted to Grusha by the old chief to create the sense of time used to summon Giath, the Goblin King. So in this case we keep going with the goblins. However, we can decide to betray the goblins at this point and synthesize the a goblin's warhorn, which has like the same value of a black stone, to craft the sense of time to summon Giath, the Goblin King. So again, we have to decide if we want to stand on the side of the goblins or just use them and kill them. So let's go back to the other character so we can see how the first crossroad changes when we pick the going against the goblins option. Anytime now. Loading screens. Learn about Giath by thinning the goblin numbers with Takros and forcing them to confess. The rampant actions of the goblins have caused much losses in our trade with Serendia. They've already proven what words aren't enough to solve this matter. We are out of time. We need to hurry and extract as much information on Giath as quickly as possible. The best means is to spread fear into the woods. Those who can bear to see their own suffer will soon come to us to talk. Takros.
I was wondering who you were. You're the hero who defeated Red Nose. You agreed to defeat the goblins and track down their chief? Well, this is an unexpected boost in power. And you're going alone. An ideal situation. We can achieve maximum results with the smallest force. I mean, everyone in Balanos is talking about how you took down Red Nose. You've got my permission to take Grusha along as well, if you'd like.
And of course, here we can see that despite Jarrett and Cliff trying to drag us down and not reveal the fact that we are the responsible for the defeat of the Red Nose, truth came out nonetheless.
You might find some use for him. Though, with your skills, I don't think you've got much to worry about.
I'm not swearing, don't worry.
No, don't worry.
Anyway, is this really the best strategy? Takros used to be an outsider himself. He was a part of the merciless Medea rebels. Velia welcomed him in warmly. But why do they treat us goblins like this?
And of course, in this case, Grusha goes away.
From now on, I'll think of you as just another goblin. We'll decide what to do with you when this operation is over. If you'd like that decision to be humane, I'd strongly encourage your full commitment to this operation.
Of course, in this case, we just do whatever we want with the goblins. Of course.
Please. Momo, Coco, Roro. You say the king is within the cave, but also not within the cave? Do you want me to look at the mural behind me? Us goblins are a race that have called Balanos home for some time now. Well, That was before that violent, red-nosed imp exiled us. That's why the old chief would offer up prayers to the ancestors every day. He prayed for youth and the power to protect his race. The man didn't stay long, but in that stone might have been poison given to the aged chief to give up his own life.
And of course this part is more or less the same.
This is a cave that honorary goblins like I cannot enter. I hope that the Gaia goblins defeat you. You'll realize who the real monsters are.
And of course, in these cases, since we picked the going against goblins option, instead of being worried for us and saying like, oh, take care, can you do it, is like, I hope they kick your ass.
Yep, unfortunately, he does not understand that they are in fact just goblins, and goblins are not very good at fighting. They're good at ambushing, but once taken care of with a proper, lead and organization, they get their asses kicked. Of course, unless Gielt is there.
Likely be waiting at the end of this cave, but I doubt you'll even make it to the foot of his throne.
And same thing.
You must have noticed by now, I told you the Blackstone contained the power to fulfill your design.
Yep. The most similar thing. Oh, you can spin to win.
Yeah, but I have almost finished the...
Just right click.
I am faster like this.
True.
Because being like high level, I do that.
Yeah. Spin to win. Anyway, so what's interesting about this is
and
that...
you have to kill more of them, by the way.
No, it was 15 the last time as well.
Then later, I guess. But I remember that the total amount of goblin you have to defeat is higher. You were saying?
No, it's pretty interesting to see how they combine the quest lines and you get somehow the same results.
You see only the giant skull hanging and not even a glimpse of the king.
But our
Same
king
thing.
still bears the name of...
Same thing.
That must mean this stone grave actually contains... It doesn't matter. It's all for the benefit of goblins. Lend us strength.
Do you know what is contained there, folks?
No.
No?
The...
Wouldn't he...
No.
Okay.
It's the original body of the...
Okay.
Of the guy. Because in theory, Grusha already has the Blackstone.
Okay.
Stupid goblins.
Yep. Very stupid goblins. Yep.
Let's go and kill some more.
Same thing, 25 here?
Is it always the same? Then I
Well,
guess
15, 25 was the same as before.
Right.
I think you kill more in the other later on, you know.
No, okay. In the other, you have to kill. In one case, you have to kill the goblins. In the other case, you don't kill the goblins, basically. But
yeah.
In maybe they change it. I don't know. But I swear I remember that according to the the number, according to the Crossroad, the number of the thingy used to be a little.
Do you have the other spin skin? Shift X? You don't have the other spin skin.
Search.
Look!
Okay, the rift again. What should we do
I thought I
here?
might find something useful.
They stole the book.
I will take
So-
the ladies to Finto Farm.
So in this case, because of course Grusha, no matter our action, he will always care about Emma, at least in this part of the story.
Because remember, Grusha is working for the House Bartali, not for Velia. That's what Emma has told us. But of course, it also seems that he works for Velia and House Bartali in particular.
I knew I could trust you. Roxas and the immortal alchemist said...
The one who led me to that sin-laden copy must have appeared in...
There must be your grandfather.
And here is exactly the same. This part of
I'd be
the...
more than happy. I'd be more than... Eileen, I'm not sure if we...
Potatoes! Do you like potatoes? I like potatoes. What do you think about them potatoes? Yes, it's your worker.
They are everywhere, my love.
Yeah. Well, my worker is always there as well. He's happy. Not thinking about enchantment levels and whatnot. He just
Gather potatoes.
gather potatoes. There we go. You can see that it took slightly longer this time because, you know, berserkers are not so dexterous.
No, it takes at the same time.
Good. Now that I'm according to a lot.
Oh, I remember then she
Yes,
said...
perfect. Yeah.
I think you're
Oh,
right.
yes.
A goblin's horn should do them.
Okay.
I have a black singular that black.
Quiet, I can't...
And again, like we have the two options, as I said. Let's go back to the first character. And let's head towards the first ending. The so-called good ending.
There is no good ending. The adventure is just getting started. 0.1% chance of enchantment. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, but those who do.
Synthesize the Blackstone entrusted to Grusha by the old chief to create the sense of time used to summon Giath, the Goblin King. I wonder if the old chief Giath, now the Goblin King, left this Blackstone behind for a time like this. The goblins would rather seek death than to lose their war horns. They are as dear to them as their very lives. Please, use this Blackstone. Let the parting gift of an old chief for his people be of some use. Grusha.
Which is why I thought that that's where he found the Blackstone. But, yeah.
But because like in the other in the other Crossroad, I guess, he says that just the body. But I don't know, it could be in there. I'm not sure.
Thank you. You won't regret putting your faith in me. For sparing the lives of my friends. I'm forever in your debt. It's not that I can't understand where Takros is coming from. He's one of the Median deserters that was stationed at Cron Castle. When Giath, our king, assaulted Cron Castle, many lives were lost. No doubt the loss of his comrades, his captain, contributed to his desertion. Though Takros may feel Chief Igor helped put that behind him when he settled in Velia, he still holds that anger. Don't allow him to stoke that hatred. Use the stone for something good.
Time to finally put my alchemical training to use. Is anyone else feeling faint? No, it's okay, I'm fine. Shall we start the process of creating the Sands of Time? Now,
yes.
Please fetch me the first ingredient. I require fresh blood of a weasel. Fortunately, there are plenty of weasels around the farm. And I even brought my best friend along. This book may look a bit worn out, but she's full of knowledge. Without her, I'd never pass an alchemy exam.
It's not like she passes any. Anyway, the point is, here we finally realize why there seems to be an issue with the population of wizards around the world of Black Desert. That's because everyone doing alchemy just seems to kill them and suck them dry of their blood. Rest assured, Black Desertians, it is not mosquitoes in mass attacking these poor creatures, it's just the adventurers taking the blood.
Yeah, because this quest is probably a reference to the fact that for many alchemy recipes you need the blood of whatever.
Next, we'd need a shimmering wildflower. They're sometimes found blooming in Awa's plains. The story goes that the shimmering lights from these wildflowers are the very souls of innocent children who were sacrificed in the foolish King Noir's search for eternal life.
Let's go hunt out a decent spot to brew up our concoction. Takros, can we trust you to protect us without riling up any more goblins?
Can we?
Yeah.
Thank goodness we have Grusha's black stone. Is it just me? Or are things going smoother than expected?
Nah, yeah, blasphemous words.
Nice, nice.
What the heck?
Try again in a moment. I made a short about that. I was quite happy with it. Smooth operating. Anyway, so here we venture forward towards Awa's Hill. Aha! Here is a wildflower. Touch the wildflower.
A flower bearing the tragic tale of the soul of children who were sacrificed for the Cron King's vain dream of eternal life.
Ah, yes. Eternal life. Just gone.
Quickly, and just in time. Ta-da! I managed to put together a makeshift magic cauldron. Don't look at me like that. It actually took a lot of ingenuity to put that together. Alright. Now, if we perform some simple alchemy with these ingredients, we should obtain something known as the fragments of time. Wow! Don't look at me like that. It actually took a lot of... Oh! Look at the color of the smoke.
Damn, do you see that? We're so good at alchemy, we're like 90 degree depth.
My past attempts produced such a color, so that's good.
That's also a reference to the fact that we're great at alchemy and barely fail.
We'll be able to create the sands of time.
Place the fragments of time inside.
Yeah, just stick it in.
Yes! Oh, I can't believe it. It worked. Oh, let me take a look at that.
I wouldn't inhale those fumes.
Sands of time. Oh,
this is a reference to Prince of Persia.
If only Father would put this recipe on my next test.
It's the moment of truth. I shall call for my men. It's time we finally reveal the fiend behind the mask.
Finally. I shall meet with the one I've seen only in my dreams. This doesn't feel right. Pray, be careful, adventurer.
Sprinkle this on the goblin mule atop Awa's Hill, and you'll be able to summon forth gear from the Dark Rift.
We humans are of no use whatsoever. We don't need them. That's a reference to Takros wanting to help us. We can take that goblin puppet out by ourselves. This will be old hat, right? Just like with the imps and Dreadnoughts, take down the boss and that Blackstone is yours.
This is a reference to the game luring you into a false sense of security, because if you try to do the real field boss of Dreadnoughts, you will know what pain is like.
Scatter the sense of time on the Goblin Muran, busting with dark energy.
With the thick energies. Oh. 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 We've been scammed. Ah, yes. The shield that... and the weapon that doesn't shield. He's like, ah, God damn it, it's stuck! You see the maze dancing?
Yeah.
That's beautiful. God damn it. Come on, Polaris. We're trying to take this seriously. Why can't you? And here we can see Kiev being a little bit dramatic. And also the fact that Pearl Armies are most likely fans of Dark Souls.
Indeed they are.
He's running away, quick! Hit him in the back while he's not looking. Bonk him! Pow! Pow!
In theory there should be another thing, but you know. Where did the cowardly goblin gear disappear to? Ah, over there, in front of the chief's granddaughter. Where is that? And this is how the gear is supposed to be in the second part of the combat.
Tacros probably should have already arrived in Velia by now. Goodness, adventurer. Whatever are you?
It was you, Gieth. The one who pushed me towards Cron Castle in my dreams.
Emma, be careful, okay? Will she be alright, adventurer?
Do you see him? He's stuck.
Worst case, we bonk him again.
Yeah.
He appears to be saying something. Adventurer, I wish to speak with him.
Well, go ahead.
The power and wisdom to protect my people. It seems that I still lack both. I need more black stones. The black stones granted me the gift of this flesh. At the same time, so too began this dreadful nightmare of Cron. He spoke to me. If I wished for the nightmares to end, all I needed to do was but destroy the relic atop the spire at Cron Castle.
Who was he? Are you speaking of the man clad in black robes? Was he the one who gave you the black stone?
You seem to know a lot more than I thought. As he instructed me, I advanced toward Cron Castle, bringing destruction to all I laid eyes upon. And yet, at the spire, I encountered one who could not be killed. This body I inhabit froze at first sight.
You too have been dreaming the same nightmares as I. What did you find at the spire?
It burns. It overwhelms me once more. Soon this body shall no longer be able to reside in this world. By the time I return, I shall be caught in the abyss, maddened by a pain that only my flesh shall remain, crying out. If only someone would remember that I shall protect my poor tribe forever.
Can you go close the door, please?
Yep.
Thank you.
Here, wait!
Nothing more worthless than the weak championing peace. But hey, we've obtained another black stone. Well done, partner. Just as Giet said, something is calling us towards the spire. You probably sense it, probably only faintly, but I know you must be curious. Though you know, there are even more humans waiting for you. Always when you are about to finish a task, there's a human nature for ya. Okay.
I'm speechless. Did you end up losing that fiend? We should have joined forces to exterminate him and the rest of the goblins for good.
Yeah, bro, tell me more.
Gieth is gone for good, so you can rest easy. Though, do you perhaps know who's guarding the relic within Cron Castle?
And where'd you hear something like that? That kind of knowledge shouldn't be tossed around so casually.
It doesn't matter how we know. We know. You're resident of Velia now, Tacros. Don't you think it's your civic duty to tell us?
Indeed it is, Tacros.
Understood, milady. I shall tell you of all that I know. None of this is news to the chief anyway. The reason the Median deserters could stay in those ruins, well-fed, well-supplied, is due to aid from an outside benefactor. Not a clue whom. They only dealt directly with our leader.
Outside benefactor. Sounds wealthy. And powerful. Oh, any chance he's got a baby face too?
Awkward silence intensifies. Keep listening to Takro's story.
I'm not sure. In exchange for their constant support, they had only one condition. For us to protect the spire's entrance at any cost. We were also instructed to never open the entrance. Didn't stop a few fellows whose curiosity was greater than their sense.
What happened to them?
They died. Milady, you're not thinking of going there now, are you?
And yet...
We must head to Cron Castle. Adventurer, I believe this is the most opportune time with you by our side.
I see there's no changing your mind, milady. Though I'd ask, if all goes well, that you put in a good word for me with the chief. With our current numbers, a full frontal assault would be suicide. We need to go in with a small team to infiltrate enemy lines. Once inside, you'll find a man named Beetle hiding out in exile. He's the only fool still alive who's tried to open those gates. He too seems interested in getting out, settling down in Velia. With enough persuasion, I imagine he'd offer his full cooperation. I'll remain here and keep an eye out for Gieth if he ever returns. I entrust these ladies in your care. If I ever get a promotion, drinks are on me.
I think I drank enough in the previous cinematic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go and look for this beetle.
Little.
Who is apparently the only mercenary who survived the opening of the spire at Cron Castle.
Ah! Oh. Elion's balls! Who do you think you are sneaking up on me like that? I nearly pissed myself. Eh? Come again? You want me to sneak you into the castle? And you'll get me Velian citizenship, is that right? How are you aiming to do that? Getting you alone would be a feat in itself. But getting the lot of you in? Forget it.
Hello there, I'm Eileen. I beg you reconsider. We really can keep our word. This girl, right here, her grandfather's the chief of Velia. And rumor has it that you'd like to start a new life in town, so...
Oh, so she is. The stone-faced wench herself. Just poured right out of me, that did. Apologies. Let me start again. Name's Beetle. I would happily be your guide. I may not look it, but I hail from a long line of guild advisors. The reason we've been stationed here for so long was due to our dealings with some outsiders. Not sure which merchant guild they hail from, but they kept us well equipped and well fed with a steady stream of supplies. When we say we're here to inspect the supplies, they'll let us through. When they shout the passphrase, black or red, reply silver.
Black or red like the desert, silver like the money.
Yeah.
I'm thinking our grizzled adventure here would be a dead giveaway. So play the part of a merchant, best let the ladies handle it.
Excuse me, I'm a fair lady, if you don't mind.
Hold! Moving or shoot!
Huh?
Black or red?
What?
Black or red?
Silver?
Come on! What the hell kind of response is that?
Ah, don't mind her, she's new. Sounds like you guys are having a hard day, yeah?
Shit like this just makes it harder. Move along.
Let's go then.
Another inspection, eh? Do we really need 2 a day?
Well, it's like we say. Any merchant worth their spice always measures storage thrice.
Hold up! I recognize that ugly mug. Beetle! What are you doing showing your face here? Guards! Anyone?
I love the cat sitting there.
Watching and enjoying the scene.
Oh, that was close. I'll hand it to you, you're more capable than you look. Anyway, what's brought you and this gaggle of classy lasses to such a dangerous place as this?
We're here to examine the ruins of Cron Castle Spire. No need to be alarmed. Takros told us everything. And yet, even though it is the first time I'm physically here, it's somewhat unnerving. I've seen this place so many times in my nightmares that it all seems so familiar.
Nightmares? Does your ladyship have such horrid dreams too? Then she must be... Are you the expert who's traveled the world studying specters?
Huh? An expert? No. No, not yet anyway. My sister's the one to call on for that. Why? Are you all struggling with nightmares too? No, please, you must tell us.
Yes, we are. It wasn't as bad as this before, but they've become far more frequent these days. The vengeful souls of this castle torment me in my dreams. Especially those gathered in the well over there. Apparently, one of the kings of old poisoned the well and gathered up all the dead maidens' bodies. Just the thought gives me chills. What? What do you mean you want to go there? Just look, it's practically swarming with soldiers. Is this well really so important? What are you going to do? Set the whole place on fire, then just waltz in for a chat with some ghosts? Is that the plan?
Yep.
Oh, that's given me an idea. Here, adventurer, take this. Remembering Hannah. You recognize it, don't you? This is the journal Richie recovered from the Bartali ossuary. The one from the Cron period. Like Beetle said, let's play with fire. Set a tent alight to create chaos among the soldiers. Then burn this book over the well. Igniting the reagent should manifest the spirits, but... such a waste. Such a precious reagent wasted on this. There go my plans for conjuring a hunky specter on a lonely evening.
Understandable.
Use a zucchini. And here we get the metal music, of course. For some reason.
Because it's a metal place.
Did some idiot touch the spire door again?
Have the vengeful souls returned?
Easy, by the way.
That was quite easy.
Ban the Cron period journal with reagent. The well that was poisoned during the reign of Noir III has been stopped. You preserved alone to rear your child, only for the king to steal him away, falling victim to an age-full selfish ambition seeking eternal life. The world came crashing down, but I shall remember Hannah forever, even as I cleaned the nursing bottle she couldn't heat up for a final time. Was it due to the vengeful aura which smothers this castle? The journal itself remained intact, but all the letters within were burned away. As the letters recording the unerasable chapter of the castle history vanish into the flame, the vengeful souls of Cron Castle slowly manifest around the well.
The king's descendant has finally deigned to step foot here. The sinful legacy of her forebears courses through her veins. We cried out incessantly, for how could we remain silent? Yet to have our cries reach only the ears of the loathsome royal line. A cruel fate indeed.
This is so meta, man.
For why did we cry? Our children held captive is why. Trapped within the spire, beaten by chilling winds, guarded by the king's mighty light. Do you yet wonder why we still cling to this realm? Would a mother, a father, abandon their own child?
That knight was formerly the guard captain of Noir III. It is said his martial prowess was only surpassed by his loyalty to his
Epic
king.
metal fucking lines, man. I love this.
A loyalty so boundless that he, with the aid of alchemy, abandoned his humanity and became, in all senses, a monster in order to better serve his lord. This sacrifice robbed him of his flesh, and when the deed was done, he was reborn as the frightful Phantom Knight, charged with guarding this place eternally.
Somewhere in the castle is the scroll of the alchemist. That scroll should allow you to call forth the Phantom Knight. I beseech thee, smite down the Phantom Knight and set our children free. I wish to feel my children in my arms one last time.
That's once a bit in the story.
Ghosts? Actual ghosts? Look, I should let you know, I'm allergic to paranormal activity.
And whole this part of the quest is actually an integration from what once was a side quest line explaining the sacrifice that happened in the castle.
Yeah.
You need to know how to find a scroll belonging to the ancient alchemist. You think I keep a mental log of every text I see? Do I look like a librarian?
Yep.
I believe there was a special task force assigned to guarding important documents. The problem is, this unit headed by Commander Randall is always changing location. No need to worry though, it's not hard to get our hands on the info we need. All we need is a document showing where personnel are stationed. Let's nab it off a rookie over there.
Time to put some people to sleep.
Yeah. That was fast.
I was convincing.
Come on, do your thing. Yep.
Huh? Why am I not fighting alongside you? Are you so heartless, adventurer? Practically yesterday I was breaking bread with these guys. Killing them would feel crummy.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
Let's have a look here. Hey, careful. It's a long way down, and I've got a feeling all the king's horses and men aren't interested in putting me back together again.
Yeah, and this, first of all, it's us keeping him like this on the thingy. And the thing he says is a reference to Humpty Dumpty.
Looks like. Huh, they're at that spire. We can get there by climbing this ladder. What? This is all that's left of Commander Randall's unit? I'd recommend keeping your guard up. It could still be a trap.
And of course here he is surprised because these are supposed to be like special unit soldiers, yet somehow there's not that many of them left. The biggest enemy in this entire game.
Stairs.
Ladders.
Ladders, right.
And stairs. For some reason you always have to like climb on them like you're climbing a mountain. No, it's really pretty bad.
No. It was only thanks to your heroic distraction that I could get here first. Don't get bent out of shape about it. Take a look at this flower pot. Pretty suspicious, eh?
Examine this suspicious flower pot. It's an average-looking flower pot that has dried out recently. Even if growing flowers was the favorite pastime of the deserted slave captain, it doesn't seem likely that he's assigned an entire force to take care of flowers. Digging through the dirt in the flower pot, you discover a silver key. There should be something in the area that you can open with this key.
Oh, brilliant! From what I can make of this map, there might be something down there. Aha! Next to the door, that box. Do you see it?
Yeah.
A box covered in layers of dust. You open the box with a worn silver key. Despite its unassuming exterior, it's overflowing with all sorts of things. Among them, you find a dark scroll scrawled with unknown letters.
Ooh, to think that I had my doubts about the success of this mission. We should head over there next, up the ladder to our exit.
You decide to bring the box along. Wait, someone's here looking for us. Behind you. Such intense rage. I think it wants to speak with you.
The Phantom Knight is a solitary force serving only Noir III. It's folly to think reading of the scroll alone would summon it at your whim. The ruins of that spire you're attempting to approach was raised here by none other than the immortal alchemist himself, Cathris. He swayed the king with promises of immortality, but unfortunately for the king, Cathris' true intentions laid elsewhere.
Who would have guessed?
Bringing the evil god Hadum into this world required the most evil of acts, the ritual sacrifice of pure and innocent lives. It is fortunate that the ritual ended in failure, but the power that lingers in these ruins of pure black stones remains strong.
Oh no!
And that might be why someone is paying the Median mercenaries to hold the place.
Because black
the souls trapped within are bound here, waiting for one who can free them of the chains that eternally bind them. My name is Croxus of Whale, proud knight of Cron. I dared speak out before the king, and for that, I was executed. The reason Gear froze at the sight of the Phantom Knight is because my flesh was imprisoned by his hands. I too have waited a long time for this, for you who shall break the chains of vengeance.
You stop so abruptly. The ladies are waiting. Hurry and climb the ladder. Adventurers first.
And here it's a bit of a reference to the fact that they need to update a bit like ladders to be slightly faster.
You've returned, adventurer. We were worried that you had suffered some kind of accident.
Do you know how many years I've stood guard here? I could climb the castle with my eyes closed.
Of
wow,
course.
That's impressive, I guess. But why were you kicked out again?
Damn.
After all I've done, you're not thinking of leaving me behind, are you? I mean, honestly speaking, our whole situation didn't sit right with me. We're all suffering from ghostly nightmares at night while being bloodied and bruised from brawling with goblins during the day, all for the sake of protecting some tiny piece of land with some rundown ruins. What are we putting our lives at stake for? A man's life is precious to him, innit? I felt I'd earned a bonus of sorts. Just so happened the men who caught me pilfering the captain's room didn't agree.
Oof.
Happy now? Let's get a move on. To the Chamber of Secrets over yonder.
Let's go.
Here, according to the metal music we have in the background, it's a reference to the fact that shit is about to go down.
At that quiet chamber, there is a strange-looking ancient device past the open door.
Go on.
Final trial, Phantom.
We can relax a bit now. The spire is right above us. Everyone's too afraid of the Phantom Knight's curse to approach here anyway.
Huh? What is that?
The title of the song,
around?
The Phantom
And
Knight's
that scroll.
Curse. Come on, that's so cool.
This is Cathris' own handwriting. Summon forth the Phantom Knight, you say? Oh, let me see that. Where's... Oh! Doom for Kahaliak? This can't be... This scroll bears the orders of Hadum, the god of darkness!
Remember, every time that you see Hadum, Uhura, Kaheliak, a kitty dies off somewhere. This is like the
The
most
words on the
obvious.
scroll mean nothing if the king isn't the one to speak them. The Phantom Knight only heeds his call. And he's been gone ages. His kingdom in ruin. And even the kingdom that came after. All trace of him gone. Do you think?
By the way, the name of the song should be The Phantom King Fall. The Phantom Knight Fall. Sorry.
The dreams I've dreamt thus far can't be mere coincidence. The blood
Don't
that
say.
flows in my veins may rouse the night to my call.
Hold on. You're not some legendary adventurer like your grandpa or your great-uncle Lancelot.
Oof.
Are you sure this'll work?
Such a great adventure that great uncle Lancelot is sleeping with the fish next to the Calphonian Islands.
Yeah, great adventurer.
By the way, sorry, the Phantom Knight Call. That's cool.
Yeah.
Coincidence and fate are two sides of the same coin. As grandfather likes to say when he's on a hot streak in Yar.
Fair point.
So you realize he
Stand at
cheats,
the altar
right?
and read aloud the scroll's incantation. Then I, bearer of royal blood, shall call upon the Phantom Knight.
Sounds good to me.
As for your role, adventurer, please take down the Phantom Knight.
Yeah, the easiest part, right?
Yeah. And where's the metal music? Here would be so badass.
Give it a sec.
Father, do you think I can do this?
No. That's why she has these issues in the first place.
But we believe in you.
Totally. Just do it, bro.
Thee who renounced thyself, pledging sword to something greater, O knight who's pledged unyielding devotion to Cron.
This gives me mad The Witcher vibes.
I, a Bartali, summon thee by thine oath.
And a bit of Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Hadum Vuhura Kaheliak.
Yeah, bro. Whatever that means.
Yeah, well, we're still not very sure.
Why are you screaming? You summoned him.
Still, she's a bit shocked. The main interaction she always had was with chickens.
Yeah. It's a big chicken. It's a bilingual chicken.
King of Cron, may you live forever.
That was hard.
Yeah.
Come on, baby. Come to me.
The spire has finally opened.
A door that has been closed for more or less 7 years, because this spire always been closed since the release, and they only opened it with the rework of Balanon's main quest.
Yeah.
Look there! My word! A relic of Khafra's lies right before my eyes. Oh, never thought I'd beat Clorens to such a sight.
No time to stand gawking. Hurry! To the spire with you. Take the ladies. Me? The remaining deserters may have been alerted by now. So I'll stay here and stand watch. Quickly now.
Understood.
Yeah, of course.
Then let us ascend this tragic spire.
This is the place. Just like in Emma's dreams. This is amazing.
Because of my ancestor, King Noir III, and his collusion with the immortal alchemist Khafras.
This
All
music
souls
reminds me
that
of
befell
Lord of
their
the Rings.
wicked plot called out to me.
Now has finally come the time to bring peace to their endless suffering. Go on.
Vuhulaka, hey. He told her so. Oh my god.
Good work! This power is now mine. The awakened, brilliant civilization has to sacrifice a fragile seal, sentimental oath. I evolved. Look at these pearly whites I knew were worth keeping around, partner.
Oh my word. It's beautiful.
I'm sorry. I pray you find peace.
Yes, that's it. You are starting to get it, right? This is the true power of the black stones. Something shining near the relic in front of the chief granddaughter. What's inside? Only one way to find out. Go take a look. And here actually this should happen like before. The relic was used in a ritual around 150 years ago, where Khafras, the immortal alchemist, summoned the evil god Adum. A single ray of light flows forth from the cracks of the relic.
Ah, what is this light? I don't sense any sadness, but rather warmth. Like home. Except without Clorens.
Could it be the stories left by the freed souls? Their sentiments of gratitude for not forgetting about them. This light must be a gift for all of us. I believe it's time we return, back to our ordinary lives.
Emma reaches for the light together with Eileen.
No, don't go towards the light.
And actually this part should happen before, because then we should have the cinematic of the evolution of the Black Spirit, which, fun fact, used to happen in the Ancient Stone Chamber first. Before.
Yeah.
And suddenly, an impressive display of fireworks. Then someone came along and went pow right in his big red nose.
Papa, don't forget my present.
Of course not. Listen to your mother now, you hear?
Goddamn Gen Z doing TikToks even in Black Desert.
My little princess.
And no, these are not shies. These are the developers being busy with their models.
If I can get Yar, I've still got a chance.
And here we
About
set
as
up
much
a reference
chance
to
as
Yar.
catching Red Nose locking lips with Kiev.
Well, they do say no news is good news. But still...
What? Darling!
Which one is it, your darling? They are all the same.
Interesting.
Why, hello there, adventurer. Oh, such nice weather. If only an adventurer would come buy up all my wares so I can close early.
Say that you'll head over to Clorin's shop because not only Eileen is not the only general good vendor of Velia. There's another one, and the other one is Clorin's.
I'm kidding. I was just about to close up shop anyway. It's been a while since Emma returned to Velia. I wonder where she could be. Shall we look for her by the old wharf? Emma always enjoyed the sea breeze while staring off into the distance.
Okay.
Yeah, people in Velia be partying hard, man.
And magically, sunset.
It's like straight out of a western, man.
It's Emma! What did I tell you?
Emma with a book like, my precious.
That's me.
What are you doing here?
Nothing. Adventurer, thanks again. Because of you, I was able to wash away some of my ancestral sins.
Reminder, karma doesn't
Oh,
exist.
here you are. Our house has waited a long time for this moment. For the breaker of chains who freed those souls.
As the prophecy said.
I misjudged you as little more than a greenhorn playing an adventurer.
And I thought I'd found the perfect partner in tomfoolery.
And I think the
I
focus
never would have guessed
messed up.
you'd be the one to save our village.
I'm sorry, Igor. This doesn't seem fishy to you. That man who gave the black stones to Red Nose and Kiev.
Oh, come on, Doc. I mean, the foul mood has finally been chased from Velia. And besides, this poor adventurer must be starving by now.
Indeed.
Right,
Can you
Emma?
confirm?
Mm-hmm. Adventurer, if it's all right with you, it would be our honor to treat you to a simple meal.
Every meal is a good meal.
That's, not quite yet. Chief, could you entertain the adventurer for a bit?
Eileen and I will run ahead to prepare. Take your time, but don't be too late.
Okay.
Oh, it's been a while since I've seen my dear Emma smile like that. Thank you for shining a ray of sunlight upon House Bartali.
Now pay me.
No, pay me, yeah.
While the girls are preparing the meal, would you mind paying Lorenzo Murray, the stable keeper in the southern part of the village, a visit? The villagers have prepared a small token of their appreciation for you. Also, There's an important guest who's come all the way here to find you. Ah, I do believe I've taken enough of your time. You should head off now. Have a lovely time with the girls.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, one more thing. Don't forget, Velia is always open to you.
Like your girl. Sorry, what? You knew it was coming.
Yeah, I knew it.
Jump.
I'm short.
And everybody said, jump, jump.
Fishing Red-Nose, Geath, and now some Phantom Knight. You're building quite the reputation. I've even heard the title Breaker of Chains. Her Royal Highness, Princess Duret Domengart of Great Serendia, long may she reign, has made the long journey here to extend an invitation to you to Heidel.
Back then, when you said you were Eden's stooge, that was a lie, am I right? Someone of your caliber would never stoop so low as to work beneath that ruffian.
Oof, my poor Eden.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks to your efforts, the goblin threat has been greatly diminished and trade between Serendia and Velia has been reopened. You've also caught the eye of Grand Chamberlain Jordine Ducasse, who's extended an official invitation to you as well. Come now, let's pack your things and prepare for the journey to Heidel. Don't make us wait too long now. Let us take our leave, Roig.
Yes, Princess. We shall depart immediately, Princess. Now you. The Grand Chamberlain is a busy man.
Anyway, thanks to your efforts, the goblin threat has been greatly diminished and trade between Serendia and Velia has been reopened.
She's gone.
Yeah, but like in this case, he meant that we should move.
Yeah.
I thought someone was in big trouble. To have Princess Duret of Serendia come to my stable of all places. There's a lunchbox that Lady Islin put together here. A bit of carrots from Lagia Farm there. And Buster's snacks all over the... Yeesh.
Buster is the dog of the Bartali family.
Anywho, the chief prepared a few things here and there. A trusty horse is crucial if you wish to head all the way over to Heidel.
In this case, we don't receive the horse, but if it's your first time playing the game, you are going to receive I can't remember the type, but a good horse, the average horse.
See you again sometime in the near future. Velia is always open to
you. Look at you, the popular one all of a sudden. Who do they think they are, ordering us to come like some mongrel? Shall we first stop by that old man's granddaughter's farm? They made such a fuss about treating us to a meal and whatnot. Let's go eat.
Yeah.
And we have our awesome lunchbox.
Yes.
Nom 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 nom.
Which increases our health, and it's quite sad because while it does increase our health, it has a 30-minute cooldown. So if you have more fluffy meat breads, you can only do it every 30 minutes.
Yep.
Oh, adventurer, you've arrived. You must be starving.
Indeed.
It's not much, but we've prepared what we have as best we could.
Wow!
And of course, adventurer is happy because free food is always welcome.
That's nom 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 nom.
Damn, we're just not stopping.
Well, well, look who it is. The personal guest of Grand Chamberlain Jordine himself.
Oh my! Are you leaving for Heidel? My goodness. I hear all the men there are gorgeous. I'm so jealous.
I guess Velia pales in comparison.
Well, Velia is homely enough for me.
Homely? And we also have Clarence here.
Yeah.
And fun fact, actually the only hot one of Heidel is actually Jordine, who apparently is the wet dream of all the noble women in Heidel.
And he also likes to visit noble women in Heidel, and we know this thanks to the Magnus when he wants to have wagons of pretty ladies.
Indeed.
Whew. Oh, I'm stuffed.
Ho ho!
Your cooking is the best, Emma. Well, I'm off to take a nap.
I hope the food was to your liking, adventurer. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'm not sure if it was my best.
And in fact, the beginning of the Land of the Morning Light will be us being invited to another meal prepared by Emma, because this was not her best. You can check it out in our other stream when we started the Land of the Morning Light.
Maybe when you return from Heidel, I could prepare another meal for you? Properly this time.
A proper meal?
Heidelians always say, time is like wine. Waste not a drop. Best not to keep the Grand Chamberlain waiting.
And probably this is also why the wine prop set is from Heidel. Apparently, there is this thing that the Heidelian wine is quite good.
And remember, when you're in Velia, you shop at Eileen's. If I catch you around Clarence's store, well, I'd be absolutely heartbroken.
Remember, if she acts cute and like this, she dumped our ass at the church, okay? She took us to church and then dumped us.
Whatever became of that confused main goblin Grusha? If only we hadn't used his blackstone to make that Sand of Time, we could have claimed its power for our own. Don't be so selfless next time. It's really not a good look on us. We come first. Anyway, it's time for us to leave now. We are off to Heidel, the capital of Serendia. I'm sure more fun awaits us there. Who knows, like the fragment of memory you recovered at the ancient stone chamber, you might be able to find some more hints about the White Witch. And here, of course, we finish to explore Balenos. However, we still have to find out what happened to Grusha, which is the actual ending of the Balenos main quest. There are 3 endings, possible endings. In the meantime, I'm getting my nice skin.
Let's see it.
I like it. What you like?
I don't know, don't worry. Yeah, it's fine. It's a good skin.
Yes, it is.
And here we can find out also the according to the story, what happened with Grusha.
And this is supposed to be the so-called good ending.
I'm fast! Fast as heck, boy!
Don't shame me, I'm short. Okay, we got it.
Deliver this directly to Lady Emma. She need know the truth of her grandfather. Despite his aloof demeanor, there's none in all the land who cares for her quite like he does.
Aww.
Infiltrating the forest in that preposterous goblin get-up. All at the command of the chief, for her sake. He sought any means that might rid her of her nightmares, at any cost.
Well, look who it is! Who thought I'd see you again? It is I, Grusha, the goblin.
Damn!
Ridiculously good looking, ain't I? Well, take a good look now, because I'm leaving Velia.
Oh, I'm having nightmares too.
There's no longer any goblin threat, thanks to you.
Yeah, speak for yourself. She woke up naked in the middle of
Though
nowhere.
that hasn't put a stop to her ladyship's nightmares.
Oh no, she woke up in a bad
It truly does pain me to see her suffer so. And so I've made up my mind. Like you, I too shall head out into the world to broaden my horizons, leaving a feeble scout, and someday returning a knight to watch over her ladyship. I have you to thank for this as well. I hope we meet again. Until then,
I hope to.
may hope light your way through the toughest of times.
Halt! There will be
Hello
an
there,
inspection.
are you coming from Velia? Ha ha
Just
ha.
playing with you.
How's Chief
It's a joke.
Igor? Still hale and hearty?
I'm Kirkley.
And here
affiliated
starts
with Hyde.
then
It's a pleasure to meet you.
questline for Serendia. So what's up if we actually decide to keep siding with Takros then? Because this was the good ending, but what happens if we decide to not help Grusha and the goblins? Synthesize a goblin's warhorn instead of the black stone to craft the sense of time to summon Giath, the Goblin King. Why use the black stone when there's a known replacement? Do you not understand just how valuable these stones are? Why else would everyone be talking about blackstone this and blackstone that? We should never treat these stones lightly. Those sitting in lofty chairs will know how to put them to good use. Doubt about it, but let's go for it.
You do know that goblins who've lost their war horns are good as dead, right? Takros, you still consider yourself human?
He's a giant.
You're nothing but a Median deserter, squatting in the ruins of a fallen kingdom. If you were so scared of goblins that you had to flee to Velia for sanctuary, you should have just kept your cowardly ass there.
I care not about your slanderous words, but I shall mark them as an act of mutiny. Once our operation here is done, you will be punished accordingly.
May the great king... And then...
I think so
Well,
as
you...
well.
And you...
Music to my ears.
Indeed.
Look at the black stones twisting their hearts like this. I can't stand to see it. I'll be working on the Sands of Time.
Is this a reference to the one and only ring by Sauron?
I don't know, maybe.
Now, please fetch me. Fortunately, they're up.
And again, like, we need the weasels now. And we need some light because I can see. Heck.
Boom. You missed. You missed. Goddamn wizards, so fast.
Next, we'd need a shimmering wildflower.
The same?
Sometimes found blooming in Awa's plains.
Since you're flower picking in Ewa's plains anyway, shouldn't be too hard to nab a war horn off a goblin while you're there.
Even in death, I shall curse you all!
He didn't do very well.
So you... And you...
Better take this fool to the research lab in Kepler. To lose one's humanity like this. Tragic, really.
Might this be a reference to the research lab in Kaplan built by Marnie?
I think so, yeah.
The story goes that the shimmering lights from these wildflowers...
Let's go hunt out a decent spot to brew up our concoction.
It's the same.
Oh, we need to move quickly. Let's do our best to get this in one go.
Okay. Now go.
Okay, the shimmering is there.
Yep.
Same. When in doubt. What melon?
No, nothing. Interesting. Alright, let's go ahead.
Okay. This part is exactly the same.
It
Yep.
actually. Look at the.
Same technique.
It's the moment of truth.
Finally. Sprinkle this on the.
Same thing as well. Yep. This is this bits repeat itself.
Because of course the point is the same. Sprinkling the sense of time upon the goblin mural reveals Geath, king of the goblins, who used the blackstone to possess the body of a fallen Cron warrior. Finally, the one I've seen only in my dream. This doesn't feel right. Hey, be careful.
Emma!
He appears to be sick.
And of course, here's the discussion with Velia is exactly the same.
Exactly the same. We received the blackstone.
I'm speechless. Did you end up losing that fiend?
Geath is gone for good, so you can rest.
And where'd you hear something like that?
It doesn't matter how we know.
Understood, milady. The reason the Medina... we were all...
What happened to them?
They died.
We must head to Cron.
I sit without once and he too. I'll remain here.
Cool. So same thing. He tells us about Beetle. If you, it's back and F if you just back and yeah. Oh.
I want to run.
Ah. Wait, if you can put a skill on your bar so you can charge it.
Hello, this.
Oh! Thinking of.
And this part is exactly the same. The exiled Bill suggests using the password to infiltrate Cron Castle once more. You pray that Eileen's acting is better than her alchemy skills. Ooh!
Yeah, they're not.
What are you doing with this?
Cool. Careful not to be detected, otherwise this part gets annoying. Yep. Burn.
You avoided the soldier and lit the barracks on fire. The legend of the vengeful souls and their imagination did the rest, sowing after chaos.
I mean, yeah. Yep. Beetle. Yep. Yep.
What?
Good. The biggest enemy we have. Oh my god. Alright. Can you tell me as a developer, you don't have to be a game designer, do you think this is okay?
They should put the elevator music for how long it takes.
Yeah.
What? No. Oh,
Here again. Oh my god, that key. Oh my god, that chest. What's in the chest?
I like the Beetle's pointing to the chest. I got the box.
Oh my my god, there's someone behind you. What's up? Hey guys, I'm the one who got killed by the king because he wasn't very happy about the mass murder of children and women. And
is this slower for the berserker, or am I the only one that thinks that? She's slower at climbing the thingy than the...
No, it's not that it is... Okay, it's complicated because technically the speed is the same, it's just that the model is bigger.
Yeah, so it feels slower.
Exactly.
Wow.
Because the animation is the same for everyone. So for example, the small classes like the tamer or the shy seem very fast, while the biggest like the guardian or or the giant or the berserker seems slower. Eileen reads the incantation on the alchemist Cron scroll. Emma then spills her blood on the portal. A freezing wind that pierces the lungs starts to blow. Then finally the Phantom King, guarding the relic atop the spire at Cron Castle, rears his head. Oh, King Cron, may you live forever.
Oh, no.
Whatever, yeah, we saw this. Yep. Boom. Shift here. When you're next.
Alright, I can skip the transition.
It's dramatic.
Here's the same. Oh my god, you have to go to the spire because the souls needs to be freed once and for all.
Yeah.
And I'm stuck because I'm big boy. The vengeful souls that were sacrificed for Noir III eternal life were not only ones in the relic at the Cron Castle spire. The Black Spirit absorbed a great amount of energy and now has teeth.
Just like
Same. Okay, we touch. We were supposed to get teleported back to Velia.
Yep. Velia is now filled with life and vibrance. The villagers are raving about the hero that captured Red Nose and reopening of idle trade routes, and a man returning to his family from the front lines. The abundance of joy is palpable.
Yeah, joy. Woo! We did it! We did it,
And here the same. Oh my god, we are best friends. Woohoo, let's go look for Emma. Maybe at the wharf.
Alright, let's not get demonetized.
Emma stood by the old wharf in Velia with the now empty Cron period journal while staring off towards Cron Castle. On behalf of the entire village, Chief Igor Bartali thanks you.
Yep, we send that.
Okay, let's have all a meal together and be happy, but first you have to talk with Jarrett.
Vanquishing Red Nose, Gear, and now some phantom. Her Royal Highness Princess Jarrett.
Back then, when you said you were Eden's... Anyway, thanks to your efforts, The goblin threat has been. You've also caught the eye of Grand. Come now. Let's.
Yes, princess.
Thanks to your.
Same bug. It's a bug technically because when you finish the quest it takes you back to the NPC, but the NPC disappeared because they disappeared.
Do the same, take the gift, be happy, and now let's go eat with our friendos. Emma prepared a simple meal with care. You discuss heading to Idel as the night deepens.
I hope the food maybe.
Idelians always say, and remember.
Whatever became of the confusement of Grusha, if only we hadn't used his Blackstone to make the sense of time, we could have claimed its power for our own. And actually, that's not true. They messed up with the text because actually we used the horn.
Escape.
It doesn't work with this.
It works with half of the menus, but not the other half.
Yep.
Beautiful. There's your worker, as usual.
Of course, they are everywhere, as I said.
She has a worker empire. Might not look like it, but Lema is top 1% shareholders on the central marketplace.
Oh, it's different.
Stand back! This area is under investigation. Adventurer. It is I, Hans, of the Vigilantes. Right, the body. It was discovered early this morning.
And remember, this is when the goblins are attacking and it's dangerous to travel.
What's that saying again? Behind a goblin's foolish grin hides sharpened fangs. Poor bastard thought himself some secret agent of alienism or whatnot. Going so far as to don makeup to go undercover. Only to meet an untimely death at the hands of those goblins. Huh? How am I so sure the goblins are responsible? Because of this paper found within Grusha's mouth. It's meant to serve as a warning to all of us humans.
Said to a giant.
Grusha, not family. Grusha, stooge of Velia. Grusha tricked us. Grusha must be made an example. Grusha, we kill. They sure don't mince words. Quite chilling, to say the least. Yikes. Please deliver the sad news to the chief. But don't let this dampen your travels. Bring blue skies to Heidel.
And here, what is very important to understand is that
Halt!
goblins
There will be an inspection.
do not speak the common tongue.
Just playing with you. It's a joke.
Only few of them speak common tongue, exactly like all the other races. Moreover, there are more hints about the fact that actually weren't the goblin killing Grusha. One of them is Grusha must be an example, which is a phrase exactly pronounced by Takros while disagreeing with Grusha. Moreover, after having this ending, if you go and talk with Takros, you'll have a special interaction for the knowledge. and you are going to gain Takros Nightmare. Ever since Grusha was found dead in the streets of Aidel, allegedly killed by the goblins at the break of day, Takros has had nightmares. In those nightmares, a goblin who may or may not be Grusha stalks Takros with a creepy grin. So, thanks for coming to my tech talks. It was actually, the killer is actually Takros.
Yep.
However, there is a third ending. In fact, we have 4 options, but not 4 endings. If we decide to go against the goblin and so side with Takros at the beginning, but then we decide to save the horns of the goblins and use the blackstone offered by Grusha instead, we are going to achieve the good ending, because in the end we did the final choice to try to pursue peace with the goblins. However, if we decide to help at the beginning the goblin, but then we betray them, deciding to not use the blackstone but instead the horns, we have access to the third and last ending. I want to show it with the help of my dear Swittzy.
Control Shift B.
Do it, please open our channel. Okay. Okay. That's the video. Okay, if you can please switch the thingy. Okay, perfect. Let me just put video and minimize it. Okay. And the last one is Grusha's. No, okay, it's. Okay, no, should be. Okay.
Yep, this is the one you sent.
Okay, yeah. Maybe if I go like this, it's better. Yeah.
Sorry, it's just something straight out of.
Yeah, because I speed it up.
Straight out of Interstellar, man. Han Solo.
There is no audio.
The entire village is reveling in tales of your heroics. Quite the impressive saga, I must say. Although, I don't suppose you've heard the latest news? I just got word this morning. I was off to my post as usual when I received an urgent message. Apparently, a note was found, belonging to Grusha. The contents of the note spurred a request for a search party. Dr. Uno had to translate it from the Goblin tongue, but something about his words, filled with bitterness and resentment toward the world. And something ominous I can't quite place. It read,
I seek with mortal desperation the final gift of Gieth. that brings one's deepest desires into being. The Black Stone.
I mean, if that doesn't sound like dark magic, I don't know what does. But what do I know of goblins or magic? Don't mind my ramblings. You're off to Heidel. Enjoy the sights.
And yeah, basically that's what's up, and we get these 3 final interactions. And yeah, these are all the possible endings of Breaker of Chains. We don't know if in the next episode we'll keep up with the main quest line, if anything new will be released, like, you know, Lukita, for example. So yeah, if we receive any new parts of the stories, we are going to analyze them first. Otherwise, we are going to analyze Serendia and Calphion because they are strictly connected. First, I want to show how used to be the first ever questline because I still have old characters. Right now you have Breaker of Chains, and then you have the initial part of Serendia. Then you have 3 different crossroads connecting both Serendia and Calphion, and then you have a separate questline for Calphion. While before you had one long ass questline starting from Balanos and ending in Calphion before Medea. Then they changed, they break it into parts, so they did now I can't remember how it was called, like Nightmare Reveal, if I remember correctly. And then you started here, Serendia, the 3 crossroads, Calphion. Then they change Nightmare's Reveal and they put Breaker of Chains. So first of all, again, if Ulukita won't be released next week, we are going to analyze firstly the old questline, and then we are going to see the 3 different crossroads you can pick in Serendia and Calphion. Hope you enjoyed, and see you all next time. Bye!
Bye.